Hello again. Welcome to Creative Minds, guys. This is Gerard. Hi, Emilio. Hey, Brian. How you guys doing?
Good. How y'all
What's
doing?
going on, man? Another beautiful
Good,
day.
good.
Another beautiful day, man.
We have a good show. Excited.
Absolutely. Hey, it's been a very interesting week. Quite a lot of things happening. We are going to talk about a few things, especially around cryptocurrency. That's what we always talk about: cryptocurrency, blockchain, stock market. But today, this show is going to be, very, very different from the other ones because we are going to be focusing more on similarities and differences between cryptocurrency, market and the exchanges, as well as the stock market, right? So those are the two things that we are going to be talking about today. But I am pretty sure that you guys have your own opinions, right, about these two,
Definitely.
markets. Let's start with you, Emilio. What's your first take? Whenever this, pops up, what's your take?
Uh, well, I mean, we have these two vehicles that can help us enhance the way we can retire. So, when you talk about cryptocurrency or the stock market, on one side you have your traditional, which is a stock market, which has been established for quite a long time already. And back then you needed a broker or somebody that had the guidance to help you with that. You know, on the other side, then you have this new vehicle, better yet, like a souped-up sports car, which is called the cryptocurrency, that is moving at 1,000 miles an hour right now. No sights of stopping. I highly believe that many others, this is the new future, which is going to be the way we handle everyday transactions. But those are just my thoughts on that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, what's your take on these two separate, platforms, right, that we are
You
going to
know,
be talking about?
the stock market is already tried and true. That's like a perfect vehicle for getting into retirement. Making good money into it. But crypto is like the new hotness, bringing in all types of new fast money, and it's very early for everybody to get into. So you need both. You need both. Both are welcome into this space. For making money. So I think they're both.
Absolutely. And we are here to talk about ways that people can get, residual income, passive, right? Something on the side, maybe something that's not completely full time. For some people, it's full time right now, but for us, it's safe to say that this is more like our secondary, hobby, right now, right? I'm in ad tech. Brian, you are in defense. Emilio is in e-commerce, right? But again, we still find the time to try to see how we can, try to dabble around in the stock market as well as the cryptocurrency, market. And we're not even talking about NFTs. We're not even diving into, what the blockchain is. But when we talk about blockchain and cryptocurrency, they tend to go hand in hand. Okay, so during this first section of our show, we are going to talk about the similarities. We are going to focus more on the similarities. And then during the second half, we will talk about the dissimilarities and then turn around to our audience, to see what they have to say. So, guys, let's talk about the similarities, right? We have probably talked about this, before, dabbled, here and here over, some food and some beer, but let's discuss about digital assets, right? The up and downs, the volatility, and the investment vehicles being the characteristics of the similarities of cryptocurrency market and the stock market. Brian, what can you say about the aspect of the similarities in the sense of digital assets, right? How is the similarity between coming between these two markets?
Well, draw back in the day, stocks were handed out to people as paper vouchers, but now, we kind of evolved beyond that to electronic. So it's getting very similar to what crypto is already. So everybody is buying electronic stocks now. So, but it's just an investment vehicle that everybody can get into. As far as like the different ups and downs of it, you can make money in it and you can also lose money in it real quick.
Yeah,
I know crypto is very volatile, but so can the stock market. Everybody saw that what happened last year. We had our first crash in like the past 10 years. But crypto can crash. Some people, if you listen to certain people, crypto crashes every day, depending on what's going on. So, there's rug pulls, and it's also the same thing if you got like the bigger, larger, you know, people who are rich and they pull all of their money out of a stock, and
Yep.
it just leaves us whole in the bag, basically. So, it's volatility on both sides, but you're not going to make money not being in the market. So I suggest everybody get into them. That's the only way.
Yep. Yep.
Some actual passive income, retirement
Yeah.
money. Yep.
There you go. Emilio, ups
Yeah.
and downs and volatility, right? These are things that are very, very common between these two markets, right?
Yeah.
What can you say about that particular aspect, that similarity?
Well, I mean, the ups and downs is always going to be and anything you do, whether it's a business, uh, you open up your own business, whether you're on e-commerce, there's always ups and downs. That's inevitable. You just got to ride the wave. Some
Yep.
are going to be different on how you're going to ride the wave. Some, like how you said, the rich pull out their money and we're out there fending for ourselves. So, it just depends on the person. Um, how much are they willing to lose and how much are they willing to risk. So I mean that's just that. Just but the similarities, I mean, there's a lot of similarities to the digital assets,
Yep.
of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then the aspect of these two, markets, stocks and cryptocurrency being investment vehicles, it's basically more on the aspect of them being ways that people can go about making investments or having some sort of a way to own additional property. It could be the digital, currency, right? If you want to own more Bitcoin, you have to go through the cryptocurrency market and be able to buy either Bitcoin or any of the other currencies that are out there. There's 8,000 of them, right? Again, there's so many of them to go about. If you want to get a piece of Coca-Cola or Amazon, you can go, to the Amazon, corporate office and say that, hey, I want to buy, you know, this particular piece of Amazon, right? You can just do that by buying the stock, right? Or by owning Amazon. Just go to the stock market, buy a couple of shares, and you are a shareholder, right? You can definitely attend the shareholder meetings, and you can make certain decisions too, right? So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
these two, the cryptocurrency and the stock market, they are definitely ways that people can be able to invest and be able to reap, profits, right? Either through dividends or basically through just, earnings that accumulate.
Yeah.
Digital assets, everything is digital, right?
Yeah.
We can't really touch it. It's not like cash, So, I mean, all in all, what do you guys think are some of the concerns that most people have when they are looking at it, when they are looking at these two markets as an average person?
Well,
How,
just going to piggyback just on what you were talking about before we move on to that, like the similarity stuff of the digital assets.
Mhm.
Like nowadays, everything just could be is accessible, and
Yeah,
everything gets to be transferred with the swipe of your finger. You know, you can we're walking around with a mini computer. Look, it's just everything's in here. For
yeah,
example, like the Robinhoods, amongst the other platforms that has given us the opportunity to be able to invest in both markets. Back in the day, if you wanted to go into the stock market, you would have to go to like a Merrill Lynch's, the Dean Witters, and et cetera, et cetera. But now we have the beauty that we can just start with $1, $2 if you
yeah,
want to.
Yep.
Now, I mean, I think it's just the right time to start investing right now.
absolutely. I do agree. Brian, what do you think about the timing, right, for every average person? Just like how Emilio, just said, the
Yeah.
timing is always right.
Yeah, the timing is always right. As long as you're in it, in the space, you're gonna be making some type of money. I
Exactly.
can see some people's concerns with like crypto and stocks, especially like people, especially some people in the stock market. You make a lot of money in the market. The next thing you got to pay taxes, and some
Yeah.
people don't save that income that they gain. They think it's, oh, it's all mine. I made $500-600. No, Uncle Sam on his 10%.
Yes, dude.
And then same thing with crypto. Crypto, it's even probably more return you're going to get off of that, and they want that money that you've made. So
No, that's so true.
that's
I
something
mean,
to
at the
ponder.
end of the day, we all have to know that everything is going to be taxed at
Exactly. Yep.
somehow,
Yeah.
right? Again, it's still early,
Mhm.
so we are trying ourselves to see how we can be ahead of the game.
Mm.
Anybody that is thinking about getting into the cryptocurrency, space, probably this is the right time. It's early, of
Yeah.
course, it's risky, high risk, high reward, but you just have to know that for you to get in, do your research, make sure you know what you're getting into, because just as the stock market, the cryptocurrency market is equally risky and volatile, right? So we are going to take our regular pause, but this is the time for us to let our viewers know that if there's anybody there that wants to be able to showcase any of their, businesses or anything that they're doing, or they want, people to know about what's going on in their space, this is a time for them to let us know. Let's connect so that we are able to kind of highlight what they're doing and, let the world know that, hey, your business is alive. Until then, we are going to be right back. Welcome back, Creative Minds, episode 3. And today we are talking about the similarities and dissimilarities, between the stock market and cryptocurrency market, right? So today you have myself, Gerard, Emilio, and Brian, your regular folks that are chit chatting about, cryptocurrency, trying to figure out what is going on within this space because we all want to get in early, right? Nobody wants to be left behind.
Yeah.
Nobody left behind. I think that should be like a slogan that we should be putting on here, right? Because we want to encourage people to do their research, to like, think about where the stock market was like a couple of years ago. There was definitely, risk, here and there, but you just want to make sure that when you're playing with your money in the stock market or the cryptocurrency, it should be money that if you lose, you're not going to be too bothered about it. So, which is why you probably want to start with just the smallest change that you have, $5, $10, or whatever
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
think that you can use. So we're not saying go and invest your whole, 401k, into this. Hey, we are not involved here. Just, trying to make a joke here. But all the same, guys, we are going to be talking about the differences, right, between the stock market and the cryptocurrency market. So, Emilio, Brian, what do you guys think about this? Right? Let me go back to you, Emilio. Let's maybe talk about the trading times and the ownership. Why don't you just give some highlights about that particular difference?
Yeah. Well, one of the differences between the stock market and the crypto, I believe, is it sets them both apart is the availability in which you're able to invest. And if we speak about the crypto, well, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, night and day, relentlessly. Something I've taken notice about it, with the Bitcoin is that their peak hours is mostly during the night. Now, on the other hand, the stock market peak hours are during the morning. You got a
Yeah.
small window, which is about 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern
Yep.
time when the New York Stock Exchange opens. But now, what if you miss that window? With the stock, then you have what's called the after hours. You can put your trading, during the
Yeah.
night, study how the market did, and by the morning your trades will be trading. But you still have to wait. But now here's the tricky part about that: that if the market opens on Eastern time, that means it opens at 6:30 for me. I'm in California. It says I'm on Pacific time, so you got to be aware of the times of where you are. So Mountain time, Pacific, Eastern. So that's the tricky part about that.
Central.
But yeah,
Yep.
Central. I just think that you just have to. dive into it, and just do your
Yeah,
homework, do your research. That's that for that.
absolutely. No, it does make sense. Brian, there's an aspect of, risk slash safety. And so what do you think about that particular difference, or the
Uh,
regulation or anonymity, whichever one that you want to highlight?
I kind of want to talk about like the risk of it, or you kind of want to time and know what time of the market you're going to be getting to. So just for the stock market example, give everybody a little homework when we get off. Like the SPY, it kind of leads what the stock market does on a day-to-day basis. That's the SPY, which is the S&P 500. So they have
Yeah,
their top 500 companies inside of the United States. And when you see the SPY up, that lets you know that the stock market is going up, and when the SPY is down, that means the market is going down. So that one is your kind of your base level. If you invest in the SPY will kind of travel with inflation as well. So you'll get, maybe 10% a year, depending on how good the market went. You're going to make something in the SPY because the SPY is usually always going up because that's where production is in most of the top 500 companies. So as far as Bitcoin on the crypto side, that's your basis for all your other coins as well, because most of the coins will attempt to match up or pair with Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin's up and Bitcoin's down, that's how you'll know how the market is going to be looking at. So those are the kind of risks if you're not sure of exactly what you want to get into. Just kind of gauge those two among the stock market and the cryptocurrency markets.
absolutely. And the only, among these three differences, the one that is left here on the board is, or on the screen, is a regulation slash anonymity, right? It's definitely clear that both, markets are regulated, but we all know that the stock market has been there for a long time, and the regulation there, the SEC and all the other regulatory boards, they are much more aware of what is going on. They have a much more better control of the stock market, right? But when we look at the cryptocurrency market, it's still a little bit loose because it's very, very at the beginning of its journey. So the regulations there are very, very loose as compared to the stock market. So the control there is not as tight as the stock market, right? When we talk about control, well, we have over 8,000 currencies. We have quite a bunch of other, systems and platforms that are involved in cryptocurrency, being powered by the blockchain, technology. But all in all, the anonymity also is something that is very, 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 very huge here. In the stock market, you can know they can trace who is placing a call, who is buying a stock, who is selling. They know exactly the source of your funds. They know whether the money is coming from your checking account or savings account or investment or brokerage account. But with the cryptocurrency, it's wild, wild west, right? Nobody knows who is buying or who is selling. All they see is just wallets, and they see just just the how do you call it? Is it the code, or when you
Yeah,
want somebody to give you the wallet, what is
just
it
the
again?
X's and zeros on your wallet address.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically it's like, give me your is it the wallet number? Wait,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
there's a
Yeah,
name.
wallet number.
Okay. Okay, let's just say, like the wallet number, and that's all you need to transfer somebody
Or
some money.
address
And
too. Yeah, address.
there you
Your
go.
address.
Thank
mhm,
you, Emilio. It's the address, right?
Yes,
So,
the
what's
address.
your address? And that's all that the other person needs to be able to send you money. That's never going to be traced, right?
Yes.
So, those are just some of the differences that exist, right? The risk factors like safety, it's risky, or it's more riskier on cryptocurrency than the stock market. That's for sure. The
right. Well,
regulation is highly regulated on the stock market than cryptocurrency. The trading times, the cryptocurrency, it's 24/7. Stock has a very strict time frame, right? So yeah, Brian, did you have something that you wanted to add? Or?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, it's especially like with the stock market, even though whatever platform you're on is going to, kind of covered by FDIC insurance, so you'll be covered to a certain dollar amount in your account. Cryptocurrency, no, because you're basically your own bank. You mess up and send the coins to the wrong address, or you mistype something, it's over. Those coins are lost, that money is
That's it.
lost, all that time
It's
is
gone.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
those are the risks. So you got to be like
Yeah.
really on your stuff when you're
Yeah,
crypto.
and that's great what you talked about, what you just mentioned right now with the addresses and the wallets that's going on right now, and how big is this platform that's barely evolving. It's we got to think about it in hip hop terms too. How many hip hop artists right now are really involved with the crypto world right now? You
Yeah.
look at right
Right.
now, like a
Right.
Meek Mills right now just mentioned recently, talking about he's gonna have a listening party for his album only if you shoot to your you gotta have a ETH address, I believe, for you to get
Wow.
inside and listen to this. But that's how big
Yeah.
this has become. That even
Yeah.
he sees it, and he's been around billionaires, and he's learning from people that are way up there and higher than he is, where he's trying to achieve. And he that's what he said. If you want to get into my listening party, you gotta just shoot the ETH address. You
Yeah.
gotta have one, and if you don't know, do your
You gotta go
research.
look for it.
Yeah, look for what the Web 3.0.
Yeah.
That's where that's
Yeah.
at. So that's crazy, man. How it's getting, man, right now.
Yeah.
How big it is.
No, that's absolutely great. Hey, we are, going to go into the second half of, our show. And we definitely want to invite our audience to, comment below, like, subscribe, share. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what other differences or similarities that you might know. Post links. Let us share the knowledge and try to see how we can be much more educated around this topic of cryptocurrency and the stock market. Until then, if you have any idea or any business that you want us to highlight, please feel free to let us know so that we can be able to drop it, during this hour segment. See you guys in 60 seconds. Welcome back, folks. This is Creative Minds, the third segment of our show. This is where we engage more with our audience. This is where we turn back to kind of see what their thoughts are, to kind of see what they're thinking, to kind of see if there are any questions or anything that they have to say. And of course, we do have a comment from someone that has been following us, and they do have a question. And I am just going to put it on the screen so that we are able to kind of see what they're saying. So the question is, should I start investing in cryptocurrency or stock market? So this is a dilemma that everybody always faces. Well, now, but back in the days when it was just a stock market, those folks had no issue knowing exactly what to do. They just needed to go to their broker, drop some money, and they were buying stocks. But now you have the stock market, you have the cryptocurrency. Guys, what do you guys think about this question that was just asked? Brian, should I start investing in cryptocurrency or the stock market?
I'm gonna say cryptocurrency all the way, just because it's so new. I'm telling you, because there's so many different avenues that you can approach crypto, and especially just based off the interest you get off of crypto and the volatility of how high it can go at this market, especially being so new, was such a small 10%, less than 10% pool of people in it. Like
Yeah,
it's small right now, and once everybody else gets in, it's just gonna grow. Stock market is great. It's a great avenue of getting everybody in. Like you can become your own style of investor. So like if you want to become real estate person that just buys real estate stocks and you get dividends from that, you can call yourself, oh, I'm a real estate guru. I have just nothing but dividend stocks that pay me from real estate companies. You can kind of do whatever with the stock market, but cryptocurrency, I'm telling you, is the best at the moment right now. So I would say cryptocurrency.
Absolutely. No, that does make sense. Let
Mhm.
us hear what Emilio has to say. Emilio,
I,
cryptocurrency or stock market?
I
What do
think
you
that's a
say?
great question, and that's a question I had in the beginning. From my experiences when I began, like in 2020, with the stocks. The first three stocks I started with was Walmart, Apple, and Amazon. Apple only started with $1. Just keep in mind that, I mean, just that's how much of a like skeptic I was, and
Yeah,
which one I should go in first. But I'm like,
yeah,
let me just put money here, money there. So those are my first three that I started. But then a few days, I began with Bitcoin.
yeah,
And I wanted to diversify my portfolio, and that's when I started digging, do my homework, and I said diversify my portfolio. It's like, okay,
yeah,
now I'm getting it, and I was off to the races. I got hooked. I kept dipping my feet on both markets, but now since I have a better understanding on the way they both work, I will highly recommend crypto because we're at the beginning of this. Just like you mentioned, Gerard, on the first episode, there's about, and even earlier, the 8,000 different coins that's available. You just have to do your part, do research on which works best for you because
yeah.
it could be different than what mine's, than Gerard's, than, you know, um, uh,
Brian.
Brian. So everybody works different on how it goes. They're both volatile, but I've noticed how crypto with the ups and downs is always on a steady rise. So
Yeah,
that's a good thing, when studying the graphs and how that goes. So I would highly go with the crypto, because it's just something big, it's something new. Just like how the stock market, started. The people that were in the beginning are now
yeah,
the ones who are, you know, on the top of the mountain right now. So if we're in the beginning, let's go for it. Let's
yeah.
go for it now, and then
Mhm.
20 years down the line, we're gonna be on top right there. And that's a fact.
Oh yeah.
No,
That's a
I
fact.
do agree with both of you guys, right?
That's a fact.
And again, we are always gonna continue saying that there's a risk factor to it. No risk, no gain. High risk, high gain. Just be cautious. Take your time, do your research, and make sure that you do understand, or even if you don't understand, have an idea of what you're getting into.
Yeah.
If I were to choose between cryptocurrency and stock market, just like you guys just mentioned, it's cryptocurrency all the way. And that's because it's at the very beginning, right? We are literally at the beginning of a revolution. So this is going to change the way people transact businesses, the way people interact with each other, or the way people socialize, right? Don't be surprised in the in the next couple of months when you go to like a club or you go to a bar or you want to do something and somebody tells you, nah, man, I don't want cash. Here's here's my wallet. Just
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
have Ethereum or Bitcoin or you have Crow or whatever you have, just send me just 100 of those. And if you have that and you just send it to the address, the transaction is complete, right? So it's going to change the way people are even going to be engaging. You go to a party, you go to a store, the store, person says, hey, we take Bitcoin. Hey, that's a whole different way of transaction right there. So it's just good to get in when it's almost nothing. The currencies are close to nothing. The half of a cent, even less than a cent, or pennies. So it's just good just to get in when it's still super cheap. That way you can just get a few, lock them down, and see what's going to happen in a couple of months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
In the whole
You see
sense
a
of it,
difference in a couple. You see a difference in a couple months.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
In a couple of months, it's gonna change. Bitcoin and all these other coins. Looking at it from last year, they are not the same. Just like what you said, Emilio, it's consistently going up. Like the chart is consistently going up. So and that's what, just similar to what Brian said, that it's a no-brainer, right? It's just going with what you think that is going to be able to give you the highest returns tomorrow. That's what I think. Now, before we sign off, guys, do you guys have any comments or feedback for our audience or anything around the stock market or cryptocurrency? Brian, you want to start?
But yeah, yeah. If you guys got any questions, just feel free to hit us up on our links. We don't just like talking about this on during the show. We love talking about it outside. This is a fun topic to talk about. So just hit us up with any questions, concerns, anything like that. Just on all of our sites and everything.
Absolutely. Emilio, any last
Yeah.
words for our folks?
No, just thank you for the ones who are viewing. For the audience, and just word of mouth. Just tell who you know, and just shoot the link of us. And like I said, any question you guys have, and we'll be more than happy to dig into it. And try to answer it the best way that we can. That's it.
Agreed. Agreed. This is a learning environment, so we are here to learn as well. So we do encourage our folks to let us know what they think. Let's share these ideas. There's just way too much information out there on YouTube, way too much, information out there on cryptocurrency, blockchain, NFT, how they interact or how they are, similar or dissimilar. But let's just keep in touch, subscribe and let us know what you think, comment, save, share. Until then, it's goodbye from Creative Minds. Look forward to talking to you folks again next week. Ciao.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Peace out.